Hi, my name is Jake Sylak, and I'm on the men's golf team here at Youngstown State. Advice from coaches, mentors in the past. One of the biggest pieces of advice that I've gathered over my years of playing golf is really to just kind of hone in my mental strengths or mental abilities behind the game. There's only so much that you can really teach as far as a golf swing. Everything's so unique to everybody. So for me, a lot of the teaching and the mentorship came from the mental side of the game, being able to kind of push through some of the adversity of those long days and really how to turn yourself around when you know it's going to be a long day. So one of the biggest things that I focus on, not to sound like a broken record, but really is strengthening my mental game. It's been one of the things that I have found to be most effective, besides, swing thoughts and all this other stuff that you would commonly get. The mental side of the game for me has been something that, through a lot of work and a lot of dedication to that work, I have found to be one of the more effective parts of lowering my scores and being able to maintain that sense of focus throughout the day. Mechanics behind some of my stuff, I'm a natural fader of the golf ball. I like to work the ball from left to right, but I've been trying to work on hitting the ball a little more right to left. Not necessarily something that I've tried to become the part of my game, but I've learned over the past couple of years here that being able to work the ball right to left can help in some situations. So for me, I'm really trying to work on, staying through the swing as long as I can, trying to drop my elbow into that slot. I tend to get over the top, get a little quick when I'm nervous or kind of, a little bit tense. So finding a way to just make sure I'm always in that slot and then extending through the swing without really flipping my arms too much, which would be a tendency for that opposite end swing. Honestly, one of the biggest challenges for me throughout my high school process, becoming a college athlete, was really the transition to college athletics. It was really, I was very fortunate to be blessed with the ability to play golf and to be able to play it at the highest level, being Division I. But once I got here, it was different. Everybody was as good, if not better than I was. So I really had to, work on the mental game, like I mentioned, and allow myself to not take that as a threat and allow it to be a learning process. Learn from the older guys, pick their brains, see what they do, what they don't do well, what they do well, and just kind of pick and choose from that as to what my game would ultimately turn into as a leader now on our team. Some of the things that I've picked up from players in the past, technically speaking, I've played with a lot of guys that do like to draw the ball. And as I mentioned, I'm trying to work on drawing it a little bit more. So when I'm a very fast swinger of the golf club. It's something that I've really tried to work on. But one of the things I've had to pick and choose from those guys is to know when to reel it back to hit the certain shot. I think in the past I've tried to overcorrect stuff, and when I get too quick, it doesn't even have a prayer of turning over. So really one of the things that I've learned from those guys in the past, and even guys on the team now, is how to control and slow my swing down to get the result I want. Even though I feel like I might not be swinging it as fast or hitting it as far, the results still end up being better or the same, if not better, distance-wise and all that stuff. So my recruitment process was maybe a little bit different. I was in between, a lot of different sports that I loved. Picking and choosing what I ultimately wanted to do in college. Obviously loved golf. I've loved it for a long time. Started playing when I was 3 or 4 years old. So for me, throughout the help of my high school coach, Sean Brown, and some different mentors that I've talked about, we just really dialed in. I wanted to be at YSU. I've always loved it here. I've loved playing, the idea of playing and putting on the Y being that I'm from Youngstown. So we really focused on YSU. There were some different schools out there as well, some schools down south that were appealing as a golfer, of course. But really, once I got in touch with Coach Joy, we started talking. We realized that our values and our goals of what we wanted and viewed for myself for the 4 years were in line. It was an absolute no-brainer. As soon as I got the email that said I had the offer on the table, I committed. I think I committed within the hour. So it was where I wanted to be. It was what I wanted to do, and I'm happy to be here. Why Youngstown State? It's my home. It's where I'm from. I've taken a lot of pride in being from Youngstown. Obviously, that might be a common answer, but for me, it was an opportunity to play golf at the highest level that I could, continue my golf career past high school. And like I mentioned, I've There's a picture of me with the little, Youngstown State face paint on when I was a kid going to football games. Like that's just what I've always wanted to do. It's been a dream of mine. And, whether it's professional golf or not in the future for me, if this is the end of my college career, so to say, I'm happy to do it at home. My golf career here has been a little up and down. My freshman, sophomore year wasn't necessarily the best. It was just, going through learning curves and just really developing into the player that I am today. Yeah, like I said, freshman, sophomore year wasn't the best. Junior, senior year kind of took a little bit of a leap, and really just learning from the guys in the past, learning from the guys now, allowing my mind to open up to some different techniques and different thoughts in general, has really ultimately kind of pushed me into where I am. I've had a top 5 finish now in college, which was really good for me. We were picked, I think, 8th or 9th out of 10 teams at conference last year, and we ended up placing 3rd, and had a real chance there to crack the top 2, and if not, win it if something were to completely go wrong with Wright State. But yeah, so battling through the adversity and not listening to what people in the polls had to say about us last year, and going out there getting in a top 3 was something that I'll always remember. Balancing athletics and school is one of the most important things that you can do. I think it's an important character builder. For me personally, it's just been one of those things that I've needed to kind of talk to advisors about, talk to different coaches about, and I found that for me, it just works well if I get my stuff done, early in the week. I've been a little lackluster on that in the past few, but I've realized that getting my stuff done early and not having to worry about it later in the week just takes so much stress off of you. And the professors really do a great job. It's one of the ultimate reasons I came here as well. You're in a class of 25 to 30. All the professors know your name. They know exactly where you're at in standings, and if you're not doing your stuff, they'll get on you for it. So for me, it's talking to professors, talking to advisors, talking to coaches, and just getting ahead of stuff, and it just makes life so much easier. Having the ability to be able to tell my story, that's part of the reason that I'm at YSU, that I came here. It's great to be home, and it's great, to go back to my actual home, and people ask me, how is YSU? How's golf? Golfers, we might not have the biggest platform in the world, and we know that, but the close people around us, and the people that we work with on a daily basis know us, and it's been an incredible opportunity to have a platform at all, regardless of how big in stature. We know we have a platform. We know we represent not only us, but our families, our coaches, our team. We know we have a responsibility, regardless of how big that may be. For me, a professional golf, it just might not be in the cards. I'm just definitely going to try to qualify for, U.S. Open tournaments and all that stuff, the big tournaments that you can still qualify for. But for me, I saw that Washington guy the other day. He's #open to work now. That's pretty much the route that I'm heading towards. But no, I've had a lot of really great connections, a really great internship with a company I did called P3. So for me personally, job-wise, I'm looking to go into hospitality software sales, continuing that internship, working with my uncle, who's been a really big help as well. So definitely try to qualify for the tournament. And if one week it all goes right, fantastic. And if it doesn't, so be it. I have my degree, so that's why we're here. The biggest piece of advice that I can give to someone that is looking to play Division I golf, or even just sports in general in college, don't be afraid to ask. In high school, had I known what I know now, in a way, I would have asked a lot more people. Granted, I wouldn't change it for the world, but I would have asked a lot more questions, sent a lot more emails, been a little more proactive. I didn't really start taking the recruiting process seriously until kind of the beginning of my senior year. Didn't really email a bunch of coaches, asked to, can I come to camps and stuff like that. So if it's golf, if it's baseball, football, track, whatever, be proactive, go to camps. Camps are huge. And just, be willing to learn when coaches are talking, anything, constructive criticism or praise, be willing to learn, be willing to listen. And when your time's called, be ready to go. Hi, my name is Jake Sylak. I'm a senior on the YSU men's golf team, and check me out on Next Level Prep.